looking to address what many have called Toronto's housing crisis by voting to design a vacant home tax in hopes of adding thousands of units back into the housing market and reducing the price for rent. A tax city officials hope will help cool down the flaming hot housing market in Toronto.
Housing should be used for just that, housing. We build housing to house people. And so a vacant homes tax, in a sense, it's both bold and sensible. It's also, I would argue, overdue.
Mayor John Tory, a big supporter of this tax, says it could also raise the city's revenue by as much as $66 million to help fund other housing initiatives if a 1% tax is implemented. But that's not the main point. He says the goal here would be to help free up homes and increase the supply in our city.
I hope there'll come a day when it doesn't raise 1 cent, not 1 cent, because that means it will have been successful in making sure that every housing unit is being used for the purpose for which it was intended, which is for somebody to live in.
This would require property owners to declare whether or not their home is being occupied each year. Those that are not could find themselves responsible for paying a tax to the city, much like was being implemented in Vancouver, which is currently at 1.25%, but will increase to 3% next year. Affordable housing advocates say while this is a step in the right direction, a 1% tax will do next to nothing in addressing the city's housing crisis.
You mentioned that is not enough. So what would you think would be the sweet spot for the city of Toronto?
For a start, 3%. 3%, yeah. This is what we agree that it should be.
Housing advocates say when they first heard the news, they were optimistic, but they say if the city looks at a percentage less than 3, what they're trying to do in achieving an increase in housing supply won't work.
If you could address City Council right now as they're discussing this today, what would you like them to know?
With all respect, I know all our city councilors know the situation. All. It's not one, I don't know, maybe there are few that live in a bubble, but the ones who are conscious and the ones who knows what is happening, I think so they need to press the ones who don't believe it or they are afraid of the rich people or I don't know what is happening with them, that they need to put this vacancy tax a little bit higher. We need it. We own it to these people. We own it to the people who live in the streets.
The Toronto Region Real Estate Board says they would like to see tax exemptions for individuals such as commuters, snowbirds, and owners who cannot rent due to market conditions. In a statement, they say in part, it is important to have a clear understanding of the intended purpose and policy objective of a municipal tax on vacant homes in Toronto. Given the current state of the Toronto rental market, the purpose of such a tax is not immediately clear at this time. The city will take about a year to plan out this tax, including public consultations. Now, this could be implemented by 2022. Melissa Nakhavoly, City News.
On the streets, a man in his 30s rushed to hospital tonight following a shooting in the city's East End. Police say shots were fired just before 9